Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ghost again. This is the second episode in the Pac-Man clone that I'm making. I wanna get something off real quick. This is not a tutorial series. I'm not here to just teach people. What I'm here to do is I'm kind of teaching people in a way, and I'm also teaching myself. It's all just to show basically the game development process, my journey, I'd like to say, onto me being like a full-blown game designer. You'll notice that a lot of the code that you'll see, I don't know everything about. I don't know every single detail, and that's why I can't be somebody who can teach you guys how to code because I would just fail miserably in trying to teach you guys that, and I would look really, really bad in the coding world and the coding community, teaching people bad things. So I am here to teach you guys, teach myself, and show you my journey on game design. I will go through all my code and I will explain it. Sometimes I might miss things, and that's why I'm starting to comment a lot of the blocks of code that I have, just so maybe if I do miss it, you guys will understand basically what that block of code is for, what that line of code is for. Um, so let's get into this a little bit. I will show you the picture files that I'm using right now. These are it. Later on in the game, I will probably change this coin picture because I don't like it, so I might redo it, but I wanted to make something really quick. All the Pac-Man stuff was really easy to make. You guys can make it like probably in a minute. All you need to do is just get the circle tool, basically click on one side, drag it all the way down, make it almost a perfect circle. And then just for the openings and stuff like that, what you'd want to do is kind of put one dot right in the middle of the circle, and then take the line tool and kind of make a line out, and make like a triangle out of it, and then just erase the rest of that. The reason why the backgrounds are pink is because Allegro is really cool in the fact that if you upload a picture file with a 255 red, 255 blue, I believe it is, it'll churn out this really, really bright pink. And it'll see that, and it'll automatically make that pink transparent. So that pink will not show up, and it'll just be that picture file, or that circle. So I thought that was really cool. These are just the picture files. Let's get into more of the coding aspect. What I'm going to be doing is trying to explain everything top to bottom. This is kind of the outline of the code so far. We'll get to all that. It kind of seems like a lot if you're not a coder, but it's really not that bad right now. What I've been doing is breaking it up into parts, so I'll explain these two files first, and then when I get back in here, I'll explain what this does, because that kind of looks weird. Um, so what we're doing is making a character blueprint. That's basically all a class is a blueprint of something that you want to reuse a lot. It's just reusing code, which is really nice, and you want to do as a programmer, reuse code. Reuse, reuse, reuse. So, in the character blueprint, we have some really basic functions. Later on, I'm going to be adding more hit tests, but right now, this is what we got so far. Set local is really basic stuff. You take in an x, a y, a width, and a height integer. You take that and you go in here, and it sets them all to the x, y, width, and height integers that are the actual ones, not the temporary ones. And what that will do is basically say, okay, let's go down here. Say you wanted to make Pac-Man. So we're saying, hey, we're going to use the character blueprint. We're making Pac-Man from it. Pac-Man, we're going to set his local variables and stuff like that. We're going to set to 0, 0, so the top left of the screen. We're going to set his width to height to 30, 30. That's all that the set local is doing. So it's really basic, simple stuff. The cool thing is the hit test, and I will be putting this in the descriptions to a link to it because it is not my code. I did not make this, but I am using it in the program, and I'm tweaking it the way I want it to be. Basically, what it takes in, say you want a hit test between Pacman and the coin. So what we'll do is we'll put in X, the Pac-Man's X, the coin's X, the Y's, the widths, and the heights. It'll take all that, it'll go in here, it'll run this line of code, which will test to see if it's top, bottom, left, or right, if it's in it. Basically, all this is a bounding box for those two things. If they're not connecting, then it does nothing, just for the coins so far. But if it is doing something, test will return true, which is nice. I shouldn't have this here. But that's something cool that I really liked, is the bounding box ideas. You guys can go to that website and see all the cool stuff that they did with it. Another thing that I want to introduce, excuse me, is the facing. Basically, I am using facing for my movement. So say you press the up arrow key, what it will do is set the facing to 1, and then it'll go back in the main function, see that facing is set to 1, and then draw the sprite that is set to 1. So let's go back in here. I will explain the facing more on when we get further down in the code, but right now I'm just going to do the top down. This right here is basically our FPS counter. It's our speed counter. It's everything that's going to lock down our speed. Make sure that the program is not just, just speeding way too fast. Things are moving way too fast. Functions are executing way too fast. They should execute slower, or maybe they should have a respawn rate, stuff like that. I believe Allegro can have up to 7 or 8. I can't remember, but I believe it's around 7 or 8 built-in speed counters for you to use. Well, it's not built in, but you can make up to 7 or 8 speed counters. Basically, what we're doing here is making a volatile integer, and it's going to be called the counter. Then we're going to make a function down here called the counter handler, and what that'll do is take counter and plus it up by 1. And this is kind of Allegro stuff, end of function, saying that's the end of this function. We go down here, we're locking the variable, locking the functions, and then this is really cool. We churn the ticks. I believe that is beats per second, 2 timers, so 60 ticks, I believe, or yeah, I believe 60 ticks a second. It's something like that. Like I said, I am not a programmer, but I believe it's 60 ticks in a second, or 60. I don't know. That is so bad of me, but I know what it does. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, moving on down. This is just the counter. Okay, we'll just say that it's the counter. Obviously, that's the pro lingo right there, guys. Anyways, so if you remember in episode 1, I said, hey, I need this to be safe mode, because if it's not, it doesn't work. Well, I found out that it's all because of the set color depth. I believe when I first started working with Allegro, the tutorial that I was looking at did not have the set color depth, and so my graphics got messed up hardcore. But now that the set color depth there, auto detect works, all of the graphics modes work. I have mine set to auto detect windowed. Um, I also changed it from 16 to 32 because that's what my computer is running at, not 16-bit but 32-bit. Moving on from that, is all of the sprites loading. This basically doesn't do anything. All it does is we're loading in all of the image files. So we have the Pac-Man, we have Pac-Man up, down, left, and right. We're saying what we're calling it right here, stuff like that. The buffer right there, that's where all the images are loaded to the buffer, and then the buffer is loaded to the screen. It cuts down on, I think it makes it so images aren't like what am I trying to look for, like tattered and stuff like that. They look really sketchy if you don't load them to the buffer. Anyways, I believe you can look that up. I am so sorry for not knowing that too. But like I said, I'm designing. I'm a newbie, but hey, whatever. Here's a comment right here for you guys. Drawing positions. I'm going to kind of skip over this and come back to it after I explain this. So this is the movement functions. While counter, remember our speed counter is greater than 0, run this code, and then after this code is ran, we're going to minus the speed counter. So that's basically what is holding our FPS rate to this. Um, Here is the up function. So whenever we press the up key, this is what it's going to run. What it's going to do is set Pacman facing equal to 1. We go back up here and see is if Pacman is facing 1, we're going to draw the Pacman up sprite at Pacman X and Y coordinates. And how we're going to change the X and Y coordinates is right here. So when we move up, we minus the Y coordinate by 3. And that's basically because computers are like, it's 0, 0 at the top, left corner, and then it goes down, down the Y positive, and then right across the x-axis it goes positive. So whenever we're going up, we're going negative. Whenever we're going down, we are going positive. Okay. Kind of different from anything else that you've seen in like math, I believe. It's kind of weird. Anyways, this is all works for all these. So key down is 2, 3, 4. We're also changing the y's, the x's right here. And then something that I made right here. So if none of these buttons are getting held down, what it's going to do is just set it to 0. And what 0 does is just that basic default Pac-Man picture. And that's just the yellow circle. So that's what it's going to look like when you are not pressing any buttons down. After that, we're blending it to the buffer, or no, we're blending the buffer to the screen right here. That just blit basically means we're going to draw this to the screen. That's what it means. And then we're going to clear that. We're going to clear the buffer right here, so all the images aren't there after we run the program. Say if we didn't have the clear bitmap buffer, all those images would stay right there. I think I could show you guys that real quick. Actually, let me show you the program real quick so you guys can see what I've done so far. After that is just the cleaning up of the program. So we're destroying bitmaps right here, which I just kind of got lazy. We actually should have destroy bitmap, all the Pacman stuff. So Pacman up. Let me copy this so I can get it done a little bit quicker. Pacman up, down, left. Oh, messed that up. Left and then right. I don't believe I loaded in the coin yet. Nope, so we're fine on that. And that's just destroying all the bitmaps from your memory. We also removed the keyboard function. I don't know if you need to do that, but I like to do that just to clean up everything. Then we return and end of main. So this is what it's going to look like. So we just move around. You see how it closes. So when I'm not pressing a button down, it's closed. Stuff like that is really cool. Another thing that I know I need to do is that when, say if I press down, Pac-Man should still keep going, and he should probably be opening his mouth like that, you know? Definitely. And then another thing I need to do is also that he goes across the screen, and that's an easy fix. And I don't know if I have enough time left over to do that in this episode, but I might upload another episode just for you guys so you can kind of see what I'm going to be doing with it. A lot of with the bounding boxes, I'll probably put a coin in so you can see how I can take that coin, set it to my points, stuff like that. Also add lives to the game, all that good stuff. But I think I'm really stuck for time right now. I will show you right now what that would do without the buffer, just in case you guys are interested. See? So basically, when you clear the buffer, all of those past images, they'll be taken off of the screen. So it looks really horrible, as you can tell, if you do not clear the buffer. Yeah. So again, thank you guys for watching so much. I hope that I will get better in time. Of course, I'll get better in time, but right now I'm kind of getting into the groove of just basically talking to you guys, making videos, stuff like that. But I am trying really hard to kind of make everything look better, have better quality, make it so I don't talk for no reason and have no reason behind it to talk. Not just blabbering stupid things out of my mouth. Actually not wasting your guys' time. But this will be the end of this episode, and hopefully I will post another episode up. about just all the bounding boxes and hit tests and stuff like that. I think it'd be really way cooler than what I've shown you. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.